Hi folks, Canton Township Clerk Michael Segrist here talking today. We're going to peel back the curtain a little bit on the absentee voting process and discuss what happens with a mail-in ballot, how we both make sure that only individuals who request a ballot receive a ballot in the mail, and then additionally how we verify that you are the person who voted your ballot. The process as it relates to absentee ballots is fairly simple. All voters in Canton Township who want to vote an absentee ballot must apply for an absentee ballot. In the same way that when a voter shows up on election day in the precinct, they also must fill out an application to vote. And this is where we determine if they are in fact a registered voter in Canton Township, and it's also where we ensure that they are in fact who they say they are. Once we receive an application, we go through the process of identifying the voter. We do a signature verification. Once we have in fact verified that the individual who is eligible for a ballot has requested a ballot and it passes that signature verification process, we will receive it into the system. We will issue them a ballot, a specific ballot number. We will package that ballot here and we will mail them out, typically in bulk. The voter then has up to and on election day, up to 8 o'clock on election day, to make their selections with their ballot and return it to the clerk's office. We do appreciate individuals who get those ballots in earlier as opposed to later, because it does allow for timeliness and it relieves some of the pressure on election day when it comes to handling tens of thousands of ballots. But once they've made their choices, they will take that ballot, place it into a secrecy sleeve, and that ballot is then put in a return envelope, which is signed and dated by the voter. And that return envelope can either be hand delivered to the clerk's office, it can be placed in one of our 3 drop boxes. We have one in the lobby, we have one in the rear of the building attached to the building, and we have a convenient ADA accessible drive-up drop box for those who might not be able to make it into the building. That's for voter convenience. Once we receive that ballot in our office, we will go through our second signature verification process. And this is where we're going to ensure that the individual who is qualified to vote that ballot, who was assigned that ballot, is the individual who in fact voted that ballot. And that's where we will evaluate that signature. We use an online database called the Qualified Voter File as our first step in that signature verification process. This could be the signature on your driver's license, or it could be a signature that you used when you registered to vote. Occasionally, our signatures will change over time, or a signature will come in that looks substantially different than what we have in the Qualified Voter File in the software. For that purpose, we have what's called MasterCards with the registration information and the physical signature of voters that we can use to ensure that the signature in the Qualified Voter File is the correct signature for the voter. If there's any issue, or if there's still a discrepancy at that point, we use an internal process of peer review, where we will hand that to another individual who works for the clerk's office. They will evaluate that signature. They're going to look for redeeming qualities to determine if it is in fact the same signature or the mild variation. If after the secondary review, the identity of the voter or the signature is still in question, it then goes to either the clerk or the deputy clerk for verification. Oftentimes we will receive absentee ballots that aren't signed. Or if there is a ballot that where the signature is still in question, we will notify the voter based on the information they gave us on their application to vote. This is why it's important to put either your phone number or an email address on the application to vote, so that we can get in touch with you immediately to ensure that your ballot is counted. Additionally, waiting to the last minute to deposit your ballot does put you closer to the deadline and could potentially invalidate your vote if there is a discrepancy with your signature or you failed to sign the ballot. This is why it's beneficial to return those ballots early.